What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants. No hate. So, I want to talk about Tim Bradley. I saw an interview with him, and in this particular interview, the video was labeled that he hates Jake Paul. He hates him, right? He said that Jake Paul sucks. I agree, he sucks. And he pretty much spoke about his disliking for what Jake Paul means to the sport of boxing. He also was talking about, he was telling the promoters they need to put some YouTubers on the card because it will bring eyes to the sport of boxing. He talked about having, Serrano and Katie Taylor, greatest female fight he ever saw, and just, his take on those type of things helping the sport grow and the card that they had and pretty much how Jake is manipulating the system and all. Okay. The guy that was interviewing him, he was basically saying he compared that to Floyd Mayweather and McGregor, and he says how it's a money grab, I get it, the spectacle and all. And then he goes on to say, as far as I'm concerned, Floyd is 49-0. And now, everybody has their perspective on things, but y'all know I deal with reality. I don't deal with opinions and what we want something to be, right? Because you can have a peach in your hand and say, I don't give a fuck what nobody say. This is a tangerine. You can, like people, I don't identify as a woman. I am a man. Do you have nuts? No. Got a dick? No. I don't care about how manly you look. You're a woman. All right, simple. So this is pretty much, let me respond to all of that and give you my take this way. I agree with a lot of what Timothy Bradley said in this situation. But you see, you got to look at a coin, heads and tails, not just one side. And then one side sounds good. Then you go and you make an assessment, but you didn't look at the flip side. Now, let's look at the comparison. You can compare it because it's an event. Yeah. It's a combat sports event. Yeah. Okay. Both events did very well. There was a black guy versus a white guy, in the main event. Let me show you the differences that people fail and they fail to hit on. See, and why you can't compare it. Why you can't, I gave you some of the reasons why you can compare it. But I'm going to show you where the differences are. And the differences make a huge difference in the motive and what's going on. And why people sound stupid trying to blame Floyd for this shit. Like he started that. No, because way back in the day, when Muhammad Ali got in the boxing ring with Antonio Inoki, who's a wrestler that kept falling down, kicking Ali in the legs, and Ali kept jumping up on the ropes and all that. Yeah, that was way before Conor McGregor and Floyd. So these type of things have always been happening. Just like before Floyd got in the ring with the Big Show, before Evander Holyfield punched Matt Hardy, before Mike Tyson punched Shawn Michaels in the face, Muhammad Ali was in there getting airplane spin by Gorilla Monsoon. Okay? So let's look at these situations based off what I told you these guys have said. First of all, when you talk about putting YouTubers on the card so to get more eyes to the sport, I understand what Tim Bradley's saying, and I know that seems like a logical thing. Yeah, it seems sensible, right? But this is where these guys fail to understand and separate what they think from what actually is. These YouTubers, it's like a cult following with them. YouTubers are similar to MMA guys going to a boxing event to support an MMA guy that's in a fight with the boxer, okay? They're not there for the boxing. If the MMA guy wasn't involved, they wouldn't even be at the event live. And they want to say their sport's better than boxing. Well, the YouTubers have more of it's us versus them mentality. Like, we're an outcast culture. We're an outcast in the world of boxing. They don't accept us. Do you understand? So the YouTubers that may have tuned in, they really, they may have tuned, they tuned in to see Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, let's say. But if Jake Paul is their guy, do you think they care about Mike Tyson? No. Mike Tyson clearly was the favorite in that crowd. With the crowd, yeah. And pretty much a lot of people don't like Jake Paul, but he still has his following. So what they're not acknowledging is these YouTubers are casuals. They're not boxing fans. They don't give a fuck about Terrence Crawford. They don't give a shit about Canelo. They don't care about Anthony Joshua. They don't care about Usyk. They don't care about Clarissa Shields. Do you understand what they don't care about that. They're tuning in to watch fellow YouTubers. Why the fuck do you think Jake Paul can make 40 fucking million? Yet you got guys like Canelo and them making 30 million, 20 million, 25 million. Why do you think that? Why do you think that Jake Paul got 40 million and Mike Tyson got 20? Yet Mike clearly was the favorite. Do you understand what I'm saying? And even at his age, his popularity is still there. Why do you think that Jake can do that? Who the fuck do you think Jake Paul's followers and supporters are? Just like Brian Garcia's followers and supporters are the majority, a bunch of fucking YouTubers, a bunch of fucking Instagrammers and TikTokers and whatever else they got going on out there. Facebook, and that's what these people, that's what they are. So them watching the sport, they're watching to hate. They're not watching, they don't want to see true professional fighters fight. They want to see their YouTube guy win. You guys can't overlook that. When you look and say, we're trying to get a different demographic of people that normally wouldn't watch to watch. Yeah, but they're watching for Jake. They don't give a fuck what they saw with Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. Do you understand? Otherwise, boxing fans will tune in to watch boxing regardless to who's fighting, just because it's boxing. You understand what I'm saying? That's the way things work. That's why, if that was the case, do you think it would take Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson for them to watch a boxing event on their own? No. It's just like, for example, if a rapper comes out right now and he's really, really rapping, rap music is so garbage right now and so trash that if there's two legends on the track, like example, if you listen to Eminem and LL's record, right? That's LL's record. Eminem is featured on it. They talk like it's Eminem's record. Oh, yo, I never heard L spit like, yo, it's because he got the GOAT on the record with him. He got M with him. He knew he had to step his game. Like, here's a motherfucking 25-year-old trying to tell the world about LL Cool J. Like, motherfucker, what do you even think you know about Cool J? What do you even think you know about hip-hop? This bullshit drill music shit that y'all listening to in this trap, whatever. This is your era of bullshit. You don't need... Yeah. This is why they'll go back and do reaction videos and go, I ain't know he could spit like... yeah, right, exactly. You probably heard Hey Lover, probably heard I Need Love and the little slow shit. Yeah, and you understand what I'm saying? Not even realizing he had a song called Murdergram years ago on the Mama Said Knock You Out album, right? Yeah. So this is just basically him and Eminem part 2, decades later. But do you understand what I'm saying? Eminem is who they know. They know more of M than they do L. The younger the generation is, right? So they want to see him praise M like it's his record. But they know damn well L did his thing. And for the record, that second verse L spit, if that was M's verse, you couldn't tell him shit. But you clearly see them react, and it's like, oh my, they lose their shit. But it's like, okay, but I can't give L more praise than I give M. I gotta stick with M. That's that stupidity. But that's what they do. They don't know shit about shit, but they're trying to tell you what's what. I remember a guy was talking about, he's watching a guy do push-ups, right? I'm just giving you an example of something. And I remember a guy was like, he was just doing it real fast. The guy was like, man, you ain't even coming all the way up. You ain't even doing this, you ain't even doing that, right? But I remember the guy told me, I was probably like 10 when he like 10 years old. He said, I'm not going all the way down and I'm not going all the way up because I'm keeping the tension there. See, when you go up, it's not that you don't feel it because you do. He said that is a proper push-up. He said, but you saying this ain't real push-ups, I bet you can't do them this way. And the guy that was saying it's not a real push-up, he couldn't do nearly as many as that guy could do. Which means what? When he's saying this is not a proper push-up, oh man, that ain't shit. But why couldn't he do them? Do you understand what I'm saying? So people talk and say shit. Flip the coin. Why not try both ways? That way you can speak from experience versus speaking from your perspective of doing the push-ups one way. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. Now let's get back into this shit, right? Y'all know I got to do this because you always got somebody that's listening probably like this and shit. I hear you say all of what you say and still make a dumbass comment because they don't understand common sense. So that's the language we're speaking today, common sense. Now let's just listen. Think about the next part. You talking about a spectacle. You get it. It's a spectacle like Floyd and Conor did. Floyd and Conor's situation was different. Completely different. I'm going to tell you some things that they're not saying. See? That's why when you speak just to give an opinion and you try to say shit and try to sound all highly intelligent, but you're not really breaking shit down like you think you are. Example. Jake Paul is 27. Mike Tyson is 58. Mike Tyson hasn't fought in 2 decades. Jake Paul is trying to prove he's one of the best fighters out there. Simply by success, simply by popularity, and being able to get paid higher than actual real fighters. By fighting old washed up MMA guys, old washed up boxers who, don't have it anymore, but try to make it seem like he said, Mike's the baddest man on the planet. Like you just beat the real, the young Mike Tyson, the prime Mike Tyson. That's what he tries to make it look like when he beats anyone. So at the end of all that nonsense that just took place, that means there's a lot of people that hate Jake Paul even more, which means they may tune in to watch whatever he does next, crossing their fingers, hoping, wanting the satisfaction. They want that satisfaction to say, I was there, I saw when he got knocked out. So, yeah, he'll cherry pick as much as he can. And basically, this is what he's been doing. And every time you win, you're going to hate him even more. So, yeah, people hated Floyd Mayweather no matter what he did. No matter what he did. Floyd's a world-class fighter. Jake Paul is far from that. No comparison there. Now, Jake Paul is fighting and he's trying to climb his way up the ladder without putting in legitimate work. He may end up in a title shot, in a title fight with someone over somebody who actually deserves it, simply because he's more popular. It's a money grab. It's a spectacle. He's in the sport and he's not fighting anyone. Anyone worth a damn. Care what Mike used to be. He's not that now. And he hasn't been since he got knocked out by McBride. Now, let's say this. Let's look at it. A 27-year-old for the 58-year-old that basically does nothing but chew, eat mushrooms, smoke weed, and had 8 blood transfusions and went 8 fucking rounds with them. In that scripted bullshit fight. Now, let's look at Conor McGregor and Floyd's situation. Floyd Mayweather was 40 fucking years old. Last fight was at 38 against Andre Berto. Floyd is not holding titles. He's not holding up the division. He came back for this spectacle. He fought against mixed martial artist Conor McGregor that thought MMA striking is more effective than boxing. You saying it's not fair to have a striker versus a boxer is no different from saying it's not fair to have somebody that studies uh, Wing Chun versus someone who studies Tiger style. What the fuck do you mean it's unfair? Why? Why is it unfair? You understand what I'm saying? Well, because it's different. Wing Chun, everything is in here. Tiger style is here, and all this shit. Okay, you say it's unfair. It's two different styles, right? Completely different from each other, but within the same martial arts. Still martial arts. Boxing is a part of martial arts as well. Okay, if you have a street fight, let's say you're a boxer and you have a street fight with an MMA guy. You don't know what he has to beat you with. He doesn't know what you have to beat him with. But guess what? You guys are in a fight. And it's going to go the way it's going to go, right? Now, Conor McGregor knows the money in MMA can't touch the money that you're going to make in boxing. He made $100 million. Conor McGregor, by himself, right, still made more money than Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. If you combine his $40 million with Mike's $20 million, that's $60 million. So they're still $40 million short of what Conor made. So we're not even going to... Come on, Floyd made $300 million. So we're not even gonna take it there. We talked about that already. There's no comparison. They fell way short of the type of money that Floyd and Conor made. Then you gotta understand it was a spectacle, it was a money grab. Everybody knew that's what it was. So to say, as far as I'm concerned, he's 4-9-0, you can't beat somebody that never boxed before and become 50-0. That's exactly what he did. And according to Conor, I had some fights just like, what's his name, Ngannou said, right? Well, so he beats Conor after carrying him. TKO, gets him out of there. Here's the thing. Floyd was not only 25 pounds smaller, okay? Jake and Mike was the same, pretty much a pound off. Conor was way bigger than Floyd. What came out of Conor's mouth when he saw Floyd in person for the first time? He's too small. He's too small. He was eating it up. He was grinning, smiling. He just knew that he's too small. He's not going to be able to beat me. He's too small. What happened? All I was hearing from the Skip Baylesses of the world and all these different boxing personalities, the Joe Rogans, all of them talking about how Conor's going to hit Floyd with strikes he never seen before. Floyd's not going to be used to this style. It's not the traditional boxing style. These MMA guys really thought that this striking shit, because you got to understand, this is what you're failing to realize about Conor versus Floyd. This was all punching, okay? All of Conor losses in MMA, right? If you look at it, it's been his takedown. Like when he lose, it's been like he's been submitted. But his striking and shit, that's the best part of his game. So you have a boxer versus a striker. The training methods are different. So once again, let's say if you did Wing Chun, right? Now with a boxing glove, that would look stupid. You understand what I'm saying? In fact, palm strikes are illegal in boxing. But what I'm saying, let's say they allowed it and said, okay. And the guy was like, fuck it. My Wing Chun style is going to be enough. What happened? When you go in there and you're getting the brakes beat off you and your Wing Chun's not working. Do you guys remember? What's the dude's name that fought Royce Gracie? Damn, I'll forget his name. So Royce Gracie disappears from MMA for over 10 years or whatever it was. And Matt Hughes. He comes back and fight Matt Hughes. Royce Gracie said his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu style can beat any style. It doesn't matter what they do. That Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu overcomes any and every style. And I remember I thought back to when I saw Royce Gracie fight with the pulling of hair, pulling the karate gi and all. And I remember his style, his kicks was trash, man. Royce Gracie kicks was, he couldn't kick for shit, man. He just threw the kick as to just create some space. And I looked at how much the game had evolved, MMA had evolved, and I'm like, Matt Hughes is going to kill him, and Matt's going to destroy Royce. All those old heads was telling me, oh, nah, man, Royce Gracie got some scared, but yeah, Royce Gracie beat Ken Shamrock, he beat the Beast. I'm like, man, them dudes was not really that good at what they did, though, man. They was bigger than him, yeah, way bigger than him. I said, but man, these dudes haven't been studying this shit like for that, like all their life and stuff. These motherfuckers like bouncers and stuff at clubs or something, learn some type of shit at some point. But like these dudes were, you know, for what the time was, and this is the beginning. But I mean, come on, man. Now he beat those two big guys. Now look at what happened when he came into MMA where he can't pull hair. Because all he used to do, if you watch him, he would wrap his legs around people. He would get the positioning he need, and he wound up tapping them out, pulling hair, pulling clothes. I mean, you know, all this type of stuff. This is a different world of MMA we in now. Matt Hughes was way too skilled and way too strong, but not as big as Ken Shamrock and Dan the B7, right? Okay, so why couldn't he beat him? That gave him his first loss, and he never got back in the octagon after that. It wasn't even competitive. So what I'm saying is, his style versus Matt Hughes' style, he couldn't beat Matt Hughes. Now, Conor McGregor, you guys forget, they called Paulie Malignaggi. Let's find the most pillow-fisted fighter that there is, that ever lived. Oh, he's not in shape either. Okay. Let's see if we can get some sparring in. And remember that little bullshit 15-second video they put together where they tried to make it like they was getting the best of Paulie and all that bullshit? Now, think about it. They did all of that. They were super confident. In fact, let's look at it. Conor McGregor was so arrogant, so egotistical, okay, and want to stick to his code of honor, his pledge of allegiance to MMA. This motherfucker didn't even go get boxing trainers. You have people like Shane Mosley, Sean Porter, different people saying, I'll work with him if he came to me fit fight. I train him. I'll work. Why? These MMA dudes don't want to work with you. They help you beat a fucking fellow MMA guy. You understand what I'm saying? He was so confident, so cocky, he thought that his striking was going to be too much for Floyd. And a whole lot of other people said, yo, can you imagine when Floyd feel his punch and all of these things, because y'all built up in y'all head that MMA guys are unbeatable and invincible. So you had a boxer versus a striker. That is Conor McGregor's strong point, and that's how he win his fights. Conor doesn't go for the fucking submissions, and you know, really, he goes for the knockout. He, just like Chuck Liddell. Chuck did know how to do submissions and all that, but Chuck kept it on his feet. So Chuck basically wasn't really trying to submit people. Chuck wanted to knock you the fuck out. He was a striker, and he took pride in it. So you had a boxer versus a striker. And Conor McGregor said, I don't need to train the way Floyd trains. My striking ability is going to be, he's going to be surprised. He's going to get hit with shots he's not used to. He said the same thing everybody else was saying. Didn't turn out that way though, did it? I mean, hell, we saw Deontay Wilder giving fucking Joseph Parker a bunch of hammer fists on the back of his fucking neck. Remember that shit? So let's look at that and let's understand. Floyd was retired for 2 years, came back, 40 years old, fought a 29-year-old man, beat him, got him out of there. It was a money grab. It was a spectacle. It was a show. Floyd said the shit. Conor said this shit. You want to know the difference too? That fucking fight wasn't scripted. Yeah. It wasn't fake and fixed. And this was a huge cash grab. And no fucking body else since them has done it. Right. And then Floyd went off. Started doing exhibitions. Conor McGregor went off, continued to fight, but also now he's part owner of bare knuckle fighting. Where's the comparison to what Mike Tyson and Jake Paul just did? Other than they got in the ring. Do you understand? What Floyd did, he did at 40 years old. Conor was 29, only 2 years older than what Jake Paul is. And in this case, the old guy won. That is what you call a spectacle. You had a mixed martial artist. Okay? You had a striker versus a boxer. With Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, Okay, and that was active. And that was on top of his game in his sport. So his striking was helping him knock motherfuckers out in MMA. Mike Tyson ain't fought in last fight he fucking had. That was that fake fixed fight he had with Roy Jones. Mike Tyson is a retired, washed up boxer that had 8 blood transfusions in June. A weed head, fucking with mushrooms, and this is on a regular basis. Where's the comparison in that? Jake Paul didn't do this as a money grab and then bounce off into the sunset and do exhibitions. No, Jake Paul is trying to go from making 40 million to 100 million or whatever. You see, his stock is growing. See, it's like this. Let me beat up on old washed up fighters, talk a lot of shit, get enough attention to what I'm doing, get in a financial position where guess what? Even though you motherfuckers are real fighters, I'm making real fighter money. And y'all can fight each other. Y'all can be fucking two division, 3 division undisputed champions, and y'all still not making nearly as much money as I'm making for fighting old washed up fighters. Where's the comparison? It's funny that they made that comparison to Floyd and Conor. Why didn't y'all fucking make the comparison to the most recent debacle, which was Francis Ngannou getting in the ring with Tyson Fury? He dropped Fury, remember that? And how many fucking fights did Francis Ngannou have? Why were y'all so impressed by that? Now the people that don't like Fury is going, yo, you gotta give the Francis Ngannou, that motherfucker, he dropped on Fury and this and that. Oh, so you praising Francis Ngannou for dropping Fury, and you want to give him all the credit in the world because that was his first fight. An MMA guy, his first fucking fight in a boxing ring that he agreed to against the WBC champion of the world. Both in their 30s. Ngannou a little bit older. 3-4 years older. If Francis Ngannou would have got the decision, but he didn't, right? What would y'all have said then? And you want to know what's funny? I don't hear nobody saying, as far as I'm concerned, that win against Ngannou don't count. You can't fight a guy that has no experience and count that as a win. So why does Floyd win don't count as 50-0? What Furies do? After defeat, he goes in there, gets another 20 million fight against Anthony Joshua and gets knocked out in 2 rounds. So AJ's win doesn't matter either. You have some access to the record books that you gonna go in and change that. So it doesn't matter what you like, what you don't like. It is what it is. For that matter, how the fuck do we not look at Canelo Alvarez and say, yo, dude was given the keys to the city. He has this bullshit franchise championship. So he's allowed to duck mandatories and go up and down and wait and fight whoever he wants. Why y'all not taking credit from Canelo then? To say, nah, if Canelo wanted that smoke, he would have already fought Jamel and Jamal Charlo. He would have already fought Benavidez. He would have already fought Andre Ward or whoever. You understand what I'm saying? He could have fought whoever. He could have fought David Morrell. No. He could fight Terrence Crawford. Why? You see, so we're going to be selective with what counts and what doesn't count. Nah, it's not the same. I mean, they're entitled to their opinions, but that's all they talking is opinions. I'm speaking facts on what is and what isn't. You can say all you want about, in your mind, he's 49-0. Nah, brother. He's 50-0. And fought a motherfucker 25 pounds bigger. And he thought his striking ability was going to be enough. Now, let me show you motherfuckers something. Austin Trout is fighting bare knuckle. He has a championship at 154 over there. Okay? He took his boxing style into the world of bare knuckle. Now, if you guys know how to street fight, you know in bare knuckle they cover their heads like this, right? You understand what I mean? Because it's easy to get cut with the knuckles more so than with gloves. So they cover the head like this, and they pretty much use their legs to get out. And okay, are we going to sit here now and say Austin Trout wins don't matter because he's a pro boxer fighting bare knuckle guys? Do you watch like the island fights? Do you watch the mixed martial arts when they'll have like a wrestling match or an Olympic style wrestling match, an MMA match, you know, a bare knuckle match? Do you watch this stuff? Have you not seen several times strikers have beaten boxers? Now, they might not have been obviously the best boxers, but point what I'm saying, there's times where the striking works. So guess what? A striker will watch that and get influenced and get encouraged and say, you know what, I can be the boxer. You trying to shit on Floyd doesn't change shit. Fuck Floyd. But y'all, it doesn't change shit because you're trying to change the outcome of something by saying, in your opinion, he's 49-0, not 50-0. Well, then that means Fury's win doesn't matter against Ngannou, neither does AJ's. But it's funny how everybody was praising Fury, praising Ngannou. And you know what's so funny? AJ was the fucking underdog going into the fight with Ngannou, which means it doesn't matter if he didn't look like top form AJ against Franklin. It doesn't matter if he didn't like top form AJ against Wallin until he got the knockout. It doesn't matter about, not Wallin, the bald dude that he knocked out. But bottom line, even if he didn't look his best against them, then that means he should have killed Ngannou regardless, right? Because Ngannou was not a motherfucking boxer, but Ngannou managed to drop Fury. And it had a lot of people debating on who won. So we gonna act like that didn't happen? So yeah, how the fuck does Fury win stand and AJ win stand, but Floyd's don't? See, you guys understand something. Ngannou is one of the best at heavyweights, at MMA. And he got in the ring due to popularity. Not because of no boxers he beat, due to popularity. But he's a combat sports fighter. You motherfuckers say little 132-pound Bruce Lee could beat anybody. So that means whatever Bruce knows is just far better than what everybody else knows. And he wasn't even a pro fighter. Yeah, 132-pound little guy, right. Real scared. Just saying. Yeah, but he wasn't human. Well, what the fuck was he? Well, if you see me punch a motherfucker, you wouldn't think I'm human. If you saw my hand speed, you wouldn't think I was human either then. How about that? You saw my kick power, you think I wasn't human then. I'm saying it's funny how we do this selective shit. So when I listen to what Tim was saying, and I listen to the other guy talking, they're entitled to their opinions. But see, this is part of what's so fucked up about the world, man. Everybody want to give you opinions, but not facts. And even when they do give you facts, they still give you more of their opinions. Why? Because of their personal likes and dislikes. It's not about liking someone or not liking them. It's about what's real, what's right in front of you, how things work. You know, for example, my dad is 82 years old. My dad don't talk as much as he used to. But when he does talk, he does one thing that he's done forever. My dad will talk about a place that he hasn't been in 40 years. But in his mind, as he's talking about it the way he remembers it. The way he remembers it is not what the fuck it looks like now, and is not what's going on now. In fact, if you was to blindfold him and take him and say, hey, look around, and he wouldn't even know that that's the place he grew up. You understand what I'm saying? Everything's different. So my point is when you're speaking about something and you're talking about the things you like and dislike, and you know, it's like somebody telling you, oh, back in my day, we did this and that, not like this generation. There was always something that I didn't like about every era of time that I've been alive to see. There's no one point in time in life where I liked everything I saw. No, there was clothes I didn't like. There was songs I didn't like. There was certain hairstyles I didn't like. Movies I didn't like. But there was always stuff that I did like. Now, I will say a lot of things, especially as a kid, I enjoyed a lot more and did things that we had more fun doing, where now kids don't even, like, example, who grew up playing with action figures, Tyco racetracks, had this the lunchbox with the football helmet, at the time only 28 football teams, had, all that stuff, had Rock'em Sock'em robots. Used to have those little army men with the parachute, and you go upstairs and drop them out the window, or go on the porch and they float down and all that. Stretch Armstrong, right? Do you even see kids playing with action figures nowadays? We have remote control car. Do you see them doing it now? Kids' attention is this: TikTok, right? Social media, video games. There's like no middle ground. That's pretty much all they do. You don't even see kids playing with action figures anymore. When I was a kid, the girls had like the Barbie playhouse and all. When the last time you seen somebody with that shit? They're limited, man. All they do, and we was chilling. You had kids up in the projects, out in the ghetto, man, flipping on mattresses and shit, playing stickball with an actual stick and a rock. If you ain't have a fucking baseball or a tennis ball. You understand what I'm saying? All these kids do now is argue, and they always angry about some shit. And everything is just social media. Everything that they do is just, that's it. They don't have patience. So it was a more fun time. I can see that in the difference of the kids. But I've been there, and I pay attention. I'm here. I'm in it. I'm not tucked away from it, speaking on it, life as I remember. I know what's going on. Boxing fans are far and few, and even the boxing fans are selective and full of shit too. But they just understand boxing more than the casual do. For what Tim Bradley said, like I said, I agree with a lot of what he said. But at the same time, there's more to it. And there's the whole situation of people don't like authenticity. It's just like if you ever heard a rapper say they were in the studio and had a producer say, yo, your shit is fire, yo. Unfortunately, though, like, see, the industry, they want more of this, they want more. Yeah, I done heard the same thing. Like, nah, your shit fire, yo, but look, yo, like that line when you said this or that, yo, like, if you, like, put, like, say something to where, like, you killing them off, like, you stabbing. I'm like, bro, what kind of shit are you on, man? What is this bloodlust from you motherfuckers? All y'all want is blood, more killing, more murder. Fuck you, nigga. I'll rape your daughter in front of you. The kind of sick shit are y'all on, man? Like, just say anything that get people attention, even if it's controversial. Cool. Controversy creates cash. That'll get people to talking. They'll be like, yo, this nigga crazy. What the fuck? But they'll listen. They'll buy your shit just to prove how crazy you are. They want somebody to hear this shit. Meaning, you're not selling records on just talent alone. That's for that group. But now we need you to appease these people here. Nah. I don't want to make songs that make somebody think it's cool to go and slip a date rape drug into a girl's drink. I don't think it's cool to get some girl drunk and then all your homies gang banging. Nah, I'm not writing about shit like that. I speak against that kind of shit. And I learned how to make songs without being corny or being preachy about it. Just nah. I do some whoop ass type songs because, yeah, I'm a whoop ass type motherfucker in real life. But at the same time, I feel like we have a responsibility to not put bullshit out and have people, especially kids, walk around thinking that it's okay to just be out here doing whatever you want to do and trying to be a tough guy. No, that's how you end up in a pine box. That's how you end up missing. They find your fucking skeleton. Yeah. Identify your ass through dental records and shit like that. But otherwise, my point, people, is, see, people are playing the point the finger game right now. It's as simple as this, right? For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son. why didn't God just kill the devil? Same thing as if we don't like what we see, why do we just not watch it? Simple. So I think people are doing too much when they're trying to make all these comparisons and just talk. I get it. You monetizing your page. You're bringing up stuff to talk about. You do your thing on your channel, brother, whoever you were. I just know I saw the Tim Bradley, quote where it said he hate Jake Paul. But when I saw what I saw and I listened to them talk, Tim Bradley was more based on what's actually happening in the game of boxing. The other guy that was talking was more focused on making the comparisons, and he's making the complaints about it, but at the same time, it's like you can't fault Jake Paul because he's doing, he's smart business. Yeah. What he's doing work for him. Okay. A pimp has the hoes out there on the stroll working for him. It's successful for him. Do you agree with pimping? That dude that got your 16-year-old daughter in the strip club shaking ass and stripping, are you okay with that when you find out that that's what she's been doing? So just because something's successful and working business-wise for somebody don't mean it's good, okay? Doesn't mean it's good. Listen, man, we do grown up talk here. We don't do that, getting our feelings and just start saying shit and talking. Like Tim Bradley was talking about hate. He said the more hate he get, the better he is. The better at what? Better how? What do you mean? Better how? So maybe Tim Bradley say asshole shit on purpose. Maybe he do shit on purpose to get a rise out of people. We don't need to hate people. Or need people to hate us to do anything better. Stupidity is stupidity. Let me say though, okay? When you are saying Jake Paul sucks, I agree with you 1,000% he sucks. I've always thought he sucked, and I've always said what him and his brother is doing, they're doing what they're doing. They're making money. Why? You got the Mauricio Suleimans and all these other corrupt motherfuckers in boxing that's doing what they're doing. But people sit back and just make stories about it or talk and say shit, but nothing's changing, right? But you know what's funny? And this could also change as well. Isn't it funny how Mauricio Suleiman banned Ryan Garcia from all WBC sanctioning fights and all? He's not allowed to compete. Isn't that funny that of all people Mauricio did? But then people who supposed to not be racist, people who should have common sense to understand that they're dealing with the racists, make excuses for this motherfucker. The same black faces, because if he's saying, calling somebody a nigga and saying he's anti-black and he hate black people and he wish he could dig up George Floyd so he can kill that nigga again, and he hate black people, that means he's talking about me. He's talking about Joe Black ass. He's talking about Andre Ward. He's talking about Timothy Bradley. He's talking about Roy Jones Jr. He's talking about Mike Tyson. He's talking about Floyd Mayweather. I don't give a fuck about him jogging with Floyd. No, people will use you to get whatever they can from you. But it's the black fucking idiots. Yeah, the black people making excuses for this little racist motherfucker. But ain't it funny how the Mexican dude was the one said, no. You can't, no, you don't represent us. We don't put up with that. But it's the black ones making excuses for him. You see, well, the guy that Timothy Bradley was talking to was black. Timothy Bradley's black himself. Now, when he said what he said about Jake Paul, let's see how many racist people get upset at Tim Bradley for saying what he said. He ain't saying nothing about the man's skin color. He ain't saying nothing about his nationality. He's talking about the fact he suck in the ring. And, there's always somebody bound to say, hey, man, you just don't like him because he's a white guy. You're racist. Or, same way Ryan Garcia kept telling, what's the man's name? You're racist. You're racist. You're racist. Just like a little kid. Just kept, remember that? I know you are, but what am I? That Pee Wee Herman shit? I know you are, but what am I? I know you're here. Some goofy clown shit. And he kept doing all of that nonsense, right? And look at what happened. Look who was exposed. And this is why I say, when people talk, pay attention. Jarrell Miller was accusing Anthony Joshua of being on steroids, and then who popped dirty? So, you understand what I'm saying? And it's like if you catch a Christian cheating, lying, sneaking behind the husband and wife back, he who was without sin, let him cast the first stone. Yeah, shut the fuck up. Your ass was caught. That's all. Just admit that you're wrong, and you have no excuse for what you did. This is not the world we live in, y'all. It's funny because I hear Timothy Bradley saying some of the same shit that I said. I hear Andre Ward. I hear Sean Porter. I hear different people now starting to say a lot of the same shit I've been saying for the longest time now about certain situations. But you see, the influence that people have, and this is why I say people need to understand before they speak, do their homework. Because, see, when you want to say something so bad to try to take a shot at somebody and you don't really look at everything, you're going to come in and you're going to have people like myself that can bring up the other side that you're not looking at. When you cover these bases, when you really hit the nail on the head, people get in their feelings and make excuses for these people. And there's a difference. And the same way an intelligent person will see the difference, well, you should see the difference between Floyd and Conor fight versus what the fuck these two just did. And you understand what I'm saying? Mike Tyson's from back in the day. You understand what I mean? Well, his popularity was still here, obvious. And people thought he had it in him to turn the clock back. And Ngannou, he got in the ring with Fury and got in the ring with Anthony Joshua. Yet, Joseph Parker, who beat the brakes off of Wilder, then went there and beat Zhang. Nobody wanted to give him a title shot. Former world champion. Yeah, so we're going to sit and talk about right and wrong in boxing, and we got to cover all this shit then. We can't just pick and choose what we care about and what we don't, because what somebody else don't give a fuck about, somebody else does. You don't care about that, but she does. She don't care about this, but he does. So just because it's not important to you don't mean shit. You understand what I mean? Now, we talking about facts versus opinion? Well, there's no conversation. There's no debating. Only a fool debate facts. So when it comes down to people talking about this is a money grab, just like Floyd, yeah, but Floyd made an exit strategy. Floyd retired for 2 years on top of that, like I said, and came back. He knew what he was working on. So what the fuck did Floyd hurt by doing what he did? You understand what I'm saying? Now, if Floyd did that shit and Floyd's undisputed champion or he's still holding titles, now he made this big money grab with Conor. He has no excuse about money. But at the same time, he won't fight this guy, No. Floyd knew what he was doing. All of this was a part of an exit strategy. You can't sit there. That's what you trying to compare these two fights, in all honesty, is like seeing a guy stand in the corner. Cops run up on him, chase him, he got drugs on him. Now all of a sudden you see a guy standing in the corner, so every time somebody's on the corner, they're a drug dealer. And all that fucking man is doing is waiting for the fucking bus so he can get on the bus and go to work. Yeah, but now you running up, grabbing him, hemming him up, checking him, doing all this, slamming him on the ground, and he ain't doing jack shit. But because the last guy, he's a drug dealer. No, it's not the same situation. They're both on the corner. Yup. Standing on the bus stop. Yup. But one's going to work. Yeah, the other one's actually working, but illegally. Breaking laws. You understand? It's not the same shit, man. It's not the same thing. And, that's the difference. Even if you look at it, Mike Tyson talking about he'll fight again if the situation is right. Even talk about maybe his brother, But look at this. Mike just trying to make money with fake fights, fixed fights. And don't get it twisted. There's a lot of people disappointed in Mike Tyson right now. I don't personally care. It doesn't disappoint me. It's their life, not mine. I should give the boxing news. But there's a lot of disappointed people in Mike. Like, I never thought Mike would sell the fuck out like that. And y'all making excuses for this grown-ass man. Like he's some big baby. Mike. What are you doing this to Mike? Nah, Mike's a grown-ass man. Cut that shit out. What excuse does Tyson Fury have? The WBC champion of the world sat there and told the world he's not going to fight AJ. It's not happening. But he fought Ngannou. What excuse does he have for ducking people? This is the man that wanted to fight Manuel Charr and Derek Chisora. And I guess he got laughed at too much with the Manuel Charr fight, but he goes through with the Derek Chisora fight and used the excuse of, I promised him when I become world champion, I'll give him a shot to help him make some money. All this, yeah, whatever, man, whatever. But bottom line is, a current champion, and just look at how this looks. Why do you think Francis Ngannou was so confident that he'd be able to beat AJ? Because he felt like Fury's better than AJ. and I knocked him down. Remember, he was talking like he said, I feel like if I hit AJ, he don't respond the same way. I don't think AJ get back up. He really thought he was going to beat AJ. The boxing fucking community thought Ngannou was going to beat AJ. Huh? Yeah. The so-called boxing aficionados. AJ was a heavy underdog. A boxer going into a fight with an MMA guy that only had one pro fight. So how in the fuck does that happen? But y'all turn around and say it. Floyd Mayweather is 49-0 as far as I'm concerned because you can't be the guy that never fought before. No. You make it sound like he fought a fucking soccer player, man. No, he fought a fucking striker. That's kind of strong point, but guess what? It's all water under a bridge now. You can say 49-0 all you want. He's 50-0. And you know what? Not only that, it's just like, look at the New England Patriots. You got people talking about, oh man, fuck that, they ain't win all those Super Bowl. That one with the cheap with the inflated ball, I don't count that. It don't matter what you count. Doesn't matter what you say, what you think. What is. And let's be real. These motherfuckers was trying to take a loss off Lomachenko's record. They were literally trying to take a loss off of Lomachenko's record. You want to know, me looking at that situation would have been cool for Lomachenko to do? Lomachenko should have said, listen, I'm a warrior. I don't hide and run from nothing. I got a loss, I can deal with that. But I'm going forward and look at what I've accomplished since then. So I'll take that loss. All right? But it won't be easy for nobody to beat me again. They literally was trying to take a loss off of Lomachenko's record. Where was all the complaining at? Now, just saying. A lot of people, they overlook certain things. Now, in case you guys don't know, Daniel Dubois has called out, I made a video about it, called out Jake Paul. Andre Ward is saying, please say my name, right? He wants to, because they like, shit, it's easy money. I go, man, they know he can't. They know he's not a good fighter. They know this shit about him. But they're going along with it because, see, they're still commentating all that. But Dubois, like it. Now, let me tell y'all, in case y'all don't know, according to Jake Paul, I'll accept his offer. I'll have my manager call Frank Warren and we'll set something up. Bullshit. That motherfucker is not going to fight no goddamn Daniel Dubois. No fucking way. If anything, he'll try to pull that, hey man, I just made $40 million in my last fight. He's going to either price himself out or find some type of way to weasel out this fight. There's no way he fights Daniel Dubois. No way he fights Artur Beterbiev. It's talk. Yet the Jake Paul minions will still follow him and respect him regardless. And here's the crazy part. Somebody from Jake Paul's team said, this is sad. A world-class fighter like Daniel Dubois calling out Jake Paul. No, motherfucker. You know what's sad? A worthless piece of shit fighter like Jake Paul pretending to be a world-class fighter and making far more money than world-class fighters by using a boxing platform to fight old, washed-up fighters. That's what's sad. AKA, come on, man. Stop trying to get in the way of this money grab, man. Let the dude keep milking motherfuckers. Just what like I told y'all. I'm going to watch Conor McGregor. I don't have time now because I got to head back out to work in a minute, but a little bit. But I'm going to watch. I know when I watch him, I'm going to see, yeah, Conor slipped. Yeah, he's not the same. That's the only reason why Jake want to fight anybody, that he feels comfortable that he can beat that person. Anybody that he sees as a threat, which is why I said, hey, you see, you motherfuckers making excuses for Jake Paul, but he don't have as many fights. Okay, motherfucker. He still has way more fights than Francis Ngannou. Francis has 2 fights. Jake has, 13 now? Yeah. Way more fights than Francis Ngannou, but he still won't fight Francis Ngannou. And Francis Ngannou said, hey, like that was an insult to even bring that up to him about fighting Jake Paul, right? How about you lock him and his brother in the cage and then, okay. See? Why didn't he respond? He don't want no parts of Francis Ngannou, and he don't want no parts of Daniel Dubois. He's going to try to use this little fake feud shit to build his name to get more attention from actual boxing fans. See? And they're going to want to see him lose it even more after he back out of this fight, because there's no way he's going to make that fight happen. No way. No way. Because he knows once he gets destroyed, the circus is over. He knows that. It's too much on the line. You really think he's going to fight Daniel Dubois? You really think he wants to fight Artur Beterbiev? Artur Beterbiev don't even have to gain no weight. He'll go in there right now at his weight and beat the fuck out of Jake Paul. Canelo don't have to gain no weight. He can go in there right now, the weight he is, and beat the fuck out of Jake Paul. And this is where I understand why people don't like Jake Paul. I don't know him personally. He's a bit of an asshole, you know, a goofball and all of that, but I just don't care for him as a fucking fighter. I don't see him as a boxer. I see him as a novice. No, I see him as a novice. I don't see him as, he's no world-class boxer. He's a novice. That's what he is. And look at the amount of money he's making. Yeah. And a guy like Daniel Dubois is just like, nah, I want to knock his fucking head off and put an end to this circus show. That's what I want to do. This dude don't want to fight nobody, man. And for that matter, let's look at it like this, right? Let's say he calls out Roy Jones or Evander Holyfield, right? Let's just say he goes into, yeah, I want to fight nothing but legends. These guys was some of the best fighters. They were this, they were that, greatest of all time, all that, right? Because this is the shit he does, right? Now let's say he does that. Imagine the fact that people don't even like the event, but they all tune in hoping that they get to see Jake Paul get knocked out. Question, do you think Roy Jones beats him right now? Have you seen Roy Jones? The bad knees? Do you think Holyfield beats him right now? Like I said, maybe if Shannon Briggs is really, really washed up, maybe he'll fight Shannon Briggs. I don't know what type of shape Shannon is in, how sharp Shannon might. I don't know. I know I did see a video of Shannon Briggs hitting the bag, I think like a year or two ago, and I didn't like what I saw in his movements, man. You know, maybe he calls out a James Toney. See, somebody that has respect on their name, but washed, cooked, done, finished, hung out to dry. That's all this guy wants. Now, just think, was Floyd doing that? Was Conor doing that? So what the fuck is the comparison? See, and this is where I'm saying, using the word spectacle to describe both events, you can say that even though this wasn't much of a spectacle. But when you start to look at the particulars and look at all these little intangibles, you see, no, there was a lot of differences in Floyd versus Conor, versus Floyd versus Jake and Mike, and versus Ngannou versus Fury. You understand what I'm saying? Both of those fights were money grabs. Didn't Eddie Hearn say? Turkey asked him, who could we put in there with AJ where the fight's going to be equally as big? And Eddie Hearn said right off the bat, Ngannou. See, now if Ngannou would have got knocked out by Fury or something and looked bad, no, then it wouldn't have happened. But because there was controversy and a lot of people were saying that they felt like Ngannou won and he dropped Fury, and Fury wasn't able to drop him, and they had all this talk about you can hit Ngannou with a baseball bat. This man get elbowed, kicked in the knee, kicked in the face, knee in the face. They said the same shit about Conor McGregor, man. Same thing. These guys say elbows, knees, Floyd's little punches ain't gonna fly. This is the Superman mentality, the Superman character that y'all built up with this weak ass mentality, thinking that you know more about a sport and about individuals than you know. They said the same shit about Conor. But it's funny how Floyd didn't need a bat. He didn't need a knee. Didn't need a kick. When he decided to turn up, get him out of there, that's what happened. 25 pounds small. See, there's so many different things in it. And like I said, Floyd was the old guy. Yeah. Conor was only 29. Yeah. Why do you think these MMA guys say shit like, all right, so we fight one time in boxing and one time in MMA? Why? because they feel like the only advantage I have is in MMA, right? But a guy like Conor McGregor, who thought he was just so confident that he was going to beat Floyd, and Ghana was confident that he was going to beat Fury, and he was confident that he was going to beat AJ. It wasn't until he started catching the right hands he realized he fucked up when he fought AJ. But do you understand? And let's say, right? Was it casuals or so-called real boxing fans that had AJ as the underdog? Yeah, because the Teddy Atlases and all the people, I think Roy Jones might have been the only one that went the other route and said he think AJ was going to win. He might have been the only one. But all these people thought AJ was cooked. Yeah, but somehow it's not fair for Floyd to be 50-0 for beating Conor. Well, doesn't make a difference what these people say. Doesn't matter what they think. Yeah, So like I said, unless you're gonna, it doesn't matter. You can say as far as you're concerned, Fury's win don't matter, and AJ's win don't matter. Look at the record books. It says a lot different from what you're saying. So anybody that says that shit, it doesn't matter what you're talking about, man. Look. Everybody is trying to get money grabs. Like Tim said, what have I been telling you all the past 3-4 fucking years? The business model of boxing has changed. It's not what we're used to. It's a different world we live in. Therefore, the fighters are going to change. There was a time where you had exceptions with certain guys, didn't have as many fights as you think they should have, or expect them to have by the time they fight a Larry Holmes, like Marvis Frazier, something like that, who only had 10 fights when he fought Larry Holmes. Certain people. One of the things I noticed about MMA a long time ago, look at Brock Lesnar. He became world champ, heavyweight champ of the world in UFC on only his third fight. 2 fights with Frank Mir, lost the first one, won the second one, and then beat Randy Couture in the third fight. A lot of these MMA guys, they're world champion 7-8 fights in, stuff like that. You don't really see that too much in boxing. You really don't. Women's boxing is different because they're just not, the divisions are just not deep like that, And hey, but now you starting to see in boxing now, it's like a guy like David Morrell. Now look at him. He's getting ready to fight Benavidez, who has more fights than him. He only has 11, right? 9 knockouts. We just seen Terrence Crawford fight a guy that only has 11 pro fights. Had 11 pro fights. You saw, Lomachenko fought Gary Russell, and Lomachenko only had 2 pro fights. And so on, man. It's just like, look at Keyshawn Davis. He's trying to fight Tank Davis, man. He doesn't have 20 fights, 25 fights, 30. No, you understand what I'm saying? So it's not about waiting. Everything changes for better or worse. You just have to understand what the changes are. Whether you like them or not, what's going to be is what's going to be. And I say, as far as us looking at what Jake Paul is doing and thinking that it's anywhere close to what, Floyd and Conor did, yeah, he's trying to make money, but you got to also understand, it would be different if Floyd fought up an old, washed-up fighter, a guy who was, no, Conor was still in his fucking prime and was a striker, like I said, and was 29 and Floyd was 40. Yeah. Y'all forget to mention that, though. So this is what I'm saying, man. You're going to tell a story, tell it like it is. Don't just tell the parts you like. Tell the whole fucking story. So every time someone speaks to try to, make a comparison to something and everybody hear it but don't really have the understanding, the knowledge of what actually was happening, they run with that shit and think that they know something. They learned something new because somebody told them. Everything I say, you can look up. You can look up their ages. You can look up everything. You can go pull up videos. Floyd told you it was a money grab. He ain't told you that. Yeah, he's like, I keep robbing the bank. Floyd was no longer an active fighter. That was his last professional fight. When he talked about robbing the bank, he didn't say that, which is a fucking lie or a misquote. He never said that. Never said that about the Conor McGregor fight. He said that about his exhibitions. About his exhibitions. Yeah, I robbed the bank. Now, when he made that comment saying talk about he robbed the bank, he was quoting someone. He wasn't saying I'm robbing the bank. He was quoting someone who said he robbed the bank, because that's the bullshit they were saying about how, oh, Conor never had a profile. Oh, now the story starts to change. Just like I remember Skip Bayless when he was talking about Canelo Alvarez, the same thing. He's going to beat the shit out of Floyd. Floyd is too small. Floyd is old. Floyd this, Floyd that. Man, did y'all hear Skip Bayless? That motherfucker sounded like he was about to literally cry. This poor little kid, he's only 23. He never seen anything like that. And Floyd took advantage of it. I'm like, wow, look at this racist, fucking stupid looking motherfucker. What? Goddamn, you was talking like motherfucking Floyd didn't have a chance. After he beat the brakes off of Canelo, now you in there literally like crying, motherfucker face turned so red. This poor little kid. Wow, a 23-year-old man, you calling a poor little kid. Motherfucker had a bride, kids, and you calling this a grown-ass 23-year-old man a poor little kid. And he never seen anything like that. And Floyd being the defensive wizard. Oh, wow. I'm like, listen to this motherfucker. It really hurt you that he won. Well, same thing with Conor. Conor was going to do this. That striking ability is different. Floyd's not going to be used to the angles these punches are coming from. He's going to give him things that he never seen. They not talking about kicks and knees and elbows. They talking about straight up hands. So why was it any different after the bell rung? Found out that no, this boxer is better than this striker. And always remember that. Every boxer is not going to beat every striker. Every striker is not going to beat every boxer. But a good boxer is more than likely going to beat a great striker. You understand what I'm saying? But he thought his style was enough. Once again, karate versus kung fu. How you going to say it's unfair? They both agreed to it, and whatever you have, you have. It's not like you pulling out weapons or something and somebody fight with bare hands. Whatever your style is. Okay? Just what I'm saying. If you fought a sumo wrestler, whatever style you have, look at this dude, Brian Sapp, 350 pounds. I remember when he fought Ernesto Hoost. And I'm like, okay, I learned that Brian Sapp couldn't take body shots at all. He got a weak body. He get hit in the body, he folds. He can't take leg kicks. And where Ernesto Hoost messed up, who was a kickboxer, if you don't know Ernesto Hoost tried too hard to go for the knockout. He wore himself out. They fought twice, and both times he stopped. He got the stoppage on Ernesto Hoost. Ernesto Hoost was a good fighter, but he was too anxious and fought overzealous. And because of his size, and he tried to get him out of there. But if he would have moved and made that motherfucker suck wind, and use his distance to throw them sharp, hard kicks and make him run into some shit, he would have more than likely knocked him out. He was too overzealous. I told you guys this, and I'm going to say it again. You have great boxers, very good boxers. Great martial artists, very good martial artists. But very few of them truly master the craft. All right? This is exactly why fighters are inconsistent. Which is why I don't understand why you guys love to hate on people that are consistent. Fight after fight and show you I'm locked in, I'm here. You don't have to like the motherfucker. Like I said, it's not about liking or disliking. But when I saw that shit, I said, yeah. And you know what Ernesto Hoost was saying? He can't fight. He's just big. So why did he beat you? Why didn't you fight smarter? You see, he's just only because he's a movie star and this day, is popular. Who is he beating? Why is he hit? You accepted the fight. Everything he complained about. He acted like somebody put a gun in his head, had one of his kids, like, if you don't fight him, I'm going to blow his brains all over the floors. You took the fight, and you didn't fight smart. And if his size is all he has to his advantage, which it was, if he was smaller, he definitely, like his size, and for him, he's strong, he's heavy-handed, he's big. Because he's big, okay? He has heavy hands, he throws shots. His kicks are not, he can't, for him to kick a bag, if you're holding mitts or something, he can get power in it. But him trying to kick a moving target, now he has no balance, no stability, and his legs are not really flexible. I can tell he doesn't even stretch. You can see that by the way he throws his kicks, but he's a heavy dude, 350 pounds. I saw Bobby Lashley beat the shit out of him in a fight. I don't remember his name, a Japanese dude who's 185 pounds, beat the shit out of this dude. Okay, what I'm telling you, how you put things together in your head and how you see things. And let's look at Bobby Lashley, 265, 270. A guy 185 pounds also beat him just as easily. Do you understand? So what I'm saying, a disciplined fighter will find out a way to win when they've mastered their craft. You have fighters now, they speak like, I can only fight the way I train in training. My brain will not allow me to do anything else. Like it's programmed. You understand what I mean? Like putting a Mario game in. I can't play Donkey Kong on this. I got to pull Mario out and then put the Donkey Kong cartridge in. That's how people make their brain sing. And fight now, like I trained this way and I just couldn't. No, see, a master of his or her craft will figure this shit out. This is what I'm saying. That's why I said a lot of fighters have to lose first, then come back and do better in a rematch. But a guy like Floyd figure you out in the fight. Oh, I see what you're doing. Cool, I got you. Let me shut that shit down. This is what I'm telling you. So that comparison about Jake Paul and Mike Tyson with Floyd and Conor, you guys are tripping. You tripping. Now, I agree about the money grab shit, but who the fuck didn't know that? But it wasn't a fake stage fight either. Yeah. You know, I just wanted to put that out there, man, because, you know, like I said, people love to say things, but they always speak, especially like you know, Tim Bradley said, I love hate. He said, when I get hate, I do better. So, yeah, when you speak from hate, though, you say a lot of dumb shit. You say a lot of biased, one-sided, half-ass shit, and you don't realize that or even care about how people feel about what you're saying, because in your mind, you're right, but you flip that coin and realize, unless you have a double, you know, a red coin, well, yeah, tells you win, you know, heads I win. You flip the coin yourself. Oh, heads I won. That motherfucker going, damn. Not realizing your coin is rigged. So y'all only talking about one side of the coin, man. We get it. And understand something. You knew this wasn't a YouTube crowd so much in hand because the majority of YouTubers were probably home watching the shit. You understand what I'm saying? On Netflix or whatever. But at the same time, I mean, I'm talking as far as Jake Paul's following. But you see how dead that crowd was during that YouTube fight? So that's how you know that this wasn't the Misfits in the crowd, the fans of the Misfits there, because they would have been all over that if this would have been in front of a Misfits crowd. It's two different demographics of fucking fans. So the same way how you saying a striker, there's no way that you can be 50-0, take credit for beating a striker. Bullshit. It's the same way. You expecting a bunch of fucking cult following YouTubers to follow actual real boxers when the only reason they're watching is because there's a YouTuber involved in the fight. Guys, think sensible and get real. Y'all are outdated, man, with the way you think. That's not the way things work, man. You know, in all honesty, you have people that's like, you know how you have coffee drinkers that only drink one brand of coffee? And they take that shit serious. You have cigarette smokers that only smoke one brand of cigarette. Then you got that smoker that just smoke whatever the fuck they get their hands on. They just want to smoke, but you got, and they always the one, I run out of fucking cigarettes. Got that nasty ass voice. But you have people that really take that shit like serious. You got people that, I only watch WWE. Well, I only watch ECW. That's just the way people are. I don't like Donnie Park. I like Great Adventure. Why you don't like Donnie Park? Because that's not an answer. But that's how they right. Because Donnie Park is Great Adventure is better. They can't even explain to you why. It's just a pick and choose sides type shit. That's the world we live in. Right? Perfect example. Sasha Banks, who goes under the name Mercedes Moné. Adam Copeland, who used to be Edge, goes to a wrestling company called AEW. And I remember reading comments from people going, oh man, Sasha Banks is my favorite wrestler, but unfortunately I won't be watching her in AEW. Hopefully she has a good career and then she can go over there, waste her time, and come back home. Same thing. Adam Copeland is my favorite wrestler of all time, this and this, but unfortunately I won't be watching. Like, how stupid you sound, man. That's your favorite wrestler, but you won't watch him because it's not on WWE programming. You have people that leave the WWE. They want their release. They're not happy. They leave. Or the WWE cut them. They leave. So they're supposed to sit home by the phone, crossing their fingers, hoping that they get a call from WWE. When Tony Khan calls them in, they start wrestling for him, still making millions of dollars, still making big ass money. Okay, just a different company where you won't watch because it's not WWE. You're a slave to the machine. Simple. That's all you are. I'm nobody's fan, but fans like you, people don't need. You're my favorite wrestler, but I can't watch you over there. You have to come back over here for me to watch you. That's bullshit. That's pure bullshit. But that's the world we live in. So just because you got YouTubers on the card don't mean shit. Don't mean nothing. And then the consistency of, okay, are you going to put the same YouTubers back on? Who gives a fuck about YouTube boxers other than fucking YouTube boxer fans? We don't want to see that shit. We don't care. I never watched like a Misfits event. I remember watching Devin Haney. I forgot who he fought on an undercard of a fucking Misfits. I was like, what the fuck kind of shit is this? I get the crossover crowd thing they're trying to do, but you see, it doesn't work that way. You understand what I'm saying? It just doesn't work that way. So, anyways, y'all, I just wanted to make this video and put those things out there, man, because, you know, people love to say things and get all in their emotions and talk about things. Always got an attitude, a chip on their shoulder when they're explaining something about a situation. But, you know, at the end of the day, if you understand that the business model of boxing has changed, then you should know change is always going to happen regardless. Nothing stays the same forever, situation-wise, for better or worse. Nothing stays good forever. Nothing stays bad forever. In these type of situations, there's always going to be something good, something bad. Some things just completely go away. Greed would do that. So, yeah, I agree with a lot of what Tim was saying. But like I said, it's more to what he was saying. The other guy, you know, he made some points that I agreed with. But also, he said a whole lot of things that I didn't agree with. And that it's more to it than what he was saying. And you have to break down these particulars. You can't just say some shit and then leave it, you know, plain and simple. If you have a puzzle that need 100 pieces and you only have 96, you can't fucking say you completed the puzzle because you try to take your arm and cover the pieces that's missing. No, move your arm so we can see the whole thing. Now, I don't know what them 4 pieces. Why did you say that you fucking won? If you play bingo, you don't yell bingo until you got bingo, motherfucker. You got all your numbers covered. You playing Connect 4, same thing. Till you get them 4, you didn't win. You playing domino, bam, domino, I won. You understand what I'm saying? You playing gin, I won. Simple. Fucking yell out dominoes, bam, it's a 6 and I put down a fucking 2. What the fuck are you doing, man? I need a 6. You got something with a 6 on it over there? Nah, then the fuck you doing? Hey, man, y'all just keep, you know, people say things, man. They say a whole lot of things. But that's that. So Tim Bradley thinks that Jake Paul sucks, so do I. Jake Paul is doing what he's doing, you know, and it is what it is. Like I said, if boxing stopped, if they shut boxing down, if boxing completely stopped today, I don't lose anything, man. Do you know how many things that used to be great, used to be real fun, used to be, you know, something we really enjoyed is no longer here now? So is my life going to end because boxing goes away? No. So y'all got to look at who's doing what, and y'all got to understand everything is about money. I like the fact that certain people, like Turkey, tries to put the best cards on it he possibly can. People still complaining about him. But yet, you don't see nobody over here in America trying to make these things happen. And then you got these greedy-ass fighters who don't want to take, you know, pay cuts because, they're greedy. I'm not fighting him unless I get the, okay, then what the fuck did you become a boxer for? You understand? So it's obvious once they get rich enough, they don't give a fuck who you and I want to see them fight. All they care about is what they want to do. But y'all accept that. Just like motherfuckers who Trump tried to keep out the country, y'all still voted for this motherfucker anyway. Turned on your own people, start talking about they're in that situation because they want to be. They don't want to do better. And this and this, I'm not illegal. I'm here. I do the right thing. And okay. Okay, motherfucker even said there's a piece of junk, there's like pollution floating across the ocean. I think we called it Puerto Rico. Yeah, remember all that? So yeah, people always, doesn't matter. For all the down to earth people, in closing, let me say this. The common sense that we have, the things that we see, is not contagious. And understand, common sense isn't seen the same way by everyone. And all this complaining and pointing the finger and all, like I told y'all before, your happiness depends on the quality of your thoughts. So when I hear these motherfuckers always bitching and complaining about boxing and this and that, talk about how when I was boxing, I couldn't get that kind of money, these motherfuckers making this and that, and even taking it serious. Oh well, the business model has changed, and so has the mind of the fighters. Talk to me in the comment section, y'all. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.